there's only us two and one other person in premium. So there's not a lot of people catching the Tren Maya right now. Maybe it's because it's quite complicated, which brings me to how do you purchase a ticket? So we went online. Booking on the website 2 weeks ahead of time didn't give me any results. Then I tried booking 10 days ahead of time and it still didn't give me any results. I gave up and we just ended up going to the train station. We looked everywhere for how to figure out how to purchase tickets. We're traveling from Playa del Carmen and we want to go to Merida. On the website as well as in the station, it says if you're traveling from Playa del Carmen to Merida, there's only one train. It leaves at 19:10 or something like that, which is like 7:10 p.m. And other people like the Road Monster caught that train, but we did a little bit of digging. There was 3 or 4 trips to Cancun, so that is what we're doing right now. We looked at the cost of things. Was it equivalent traveling from here to Merida or traveling from here to Cancun to Merida? Yes, it's pretty much exactly the same price.
Sí, servicio premium. ¿Cuáles son los precios?
Premier, dependiendo de su identificación.
Yo soy residente.
Ok, bueno, por términos y condiciones nos dice que residencia entraría como internacional, a excepción si su pasaporte fuera nacional o una INE.
Buy from here all the way to Merida, or do we have to buy from here to Cancun?
Ok, nuestro destino es Merida, pero vimos que el que sale de aquí directo sale como a las 7 de la tarde a Merida. Bien, entonces vamos a hacer a Cancún y de Cancún vamos a conectar a Merida.
Ah, ok, el de las 4:40.
Sí.
Nacionales le saldría 1041.
International Premium.
¿Y eso es turista o premium?
Turista. En Premier está en 1250.
Okay. Tourist from Cancun to Merida is 1,000 and premium is 1,200.
So we jumped on one of the 5 or so trains to Cancun, and then we're jumping on a Cancun to Merida because there's like 5 or so more trains. So you don't have to get on the 7 p.m. train from Playa del Carmen to Merida if you want to take that route. When you get to Cancun Tren Maya station. Okay, well, welcome to Cancun Airport. There is a Go Mart outside, and the station is still under a lot of work. The line has been open for over a year, and they just celebrated their 1-year anniversary. The station itself is still under a lot of work, and I guess even the trains are under a lot of work. On the website it says when you buy a premium pass, we're doing the trip from Cancun to Merida, which is a longer haul trip. We've been told that there's services on these longer haul trips. But when we asked, they said, sorry, the cafe still isn't functional yet on these longer haul trips. We went to the station outside to show our tickets. We asked them if there was a coffee shop inside. He said, yes, it's downstairs. So we looked for the cafe that was supposedly down there. And the lady waves us down and says, no, sorry, you have to go back out and then back down. Nothing is the way that it seems here at Cancun Tren Maya station. It doesn't seem like anybody really knows where the coffee shop actually is. We just asked somebody else about the food situation on the train, and they said, sorry, premium is not included when it comes to food. I guess in premium a cart comes by because the cart literally just came by. I don't know what to say. I guess the first lady was incorrect, the second lady was incorrect, but the main lady, I guess, is correct. So you do get food that comes to you. It's not included though. It was a total for 2 drinks, 2 beers, and 2 sandwiches, a little over 400 pesos or $20. So the Cancun Tren Maya station is quite unique. Basically all the way around there are no walls except for the middle, which is a giant circle. So in there's no breeze. Right now it's over 40 degrees hot, and it's a warm one. There's not a lot of breeze, and there's obviously not a lot of places to sit. So total trip time to get from Cancun to Merida, I believe, was 8 different stops. Somebody did tell me that they were marketing 2 hours and 40 minutes, which isn't exactly true. Maybe it was supposed to be 3 hours and 40 minutes because the total trip time from us to get from Cancun to Merida was a total of 4 hours and 20 minutes. How long does it stay at each station? Well, on the website it says that it only stays for roughly about 2 to 3 minutes. Well, we were noticing that it was staying at some stations for up to about 15 minutes per station. It did this for 2 or 3 of the individual stops, so therefore 3 hours and 40 minutes went to 4:20. So a breakdown of the day. We left at 2:20 p.m. from Playa del Carmen to Cancun. Then we stayed at Cancun for about an hour and 20 minutes waiting for the next train. Then it was a 4-hour and 20-minute trip to Merida. And once you get to Merida, there is a shuttle bus that you can take. We came out, we didn't know really anything, we didn't know what to do, we just wanted to experience it. We got out, there was a taxi driver that asked us if we wanted a ride. We said yes. It was going to be 400 pesos. We thought that was going to be too much. When we were also asking the taxi driver, there was also a National Guard officer standing there. I noticed she was kind of listening, and I said no to the 400 pesos. It was good because she told us to go inside. Inside, we could book a 45 peso shuttle bus. So we did so. The problem was the shuttle bus took 45 minutes to get to the downtown city center of Merida. I wish I took that 400 peso taxi ride. It would have been a lot easier. We stayed at stations for 5, 10, 15 minutes, and it just felt like it was going on and on because we left at 2:20 and we arrived to Merida just before 9 p.m. So it was a very long day.